Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Arizona.
Final game of the year against the Giants as we close out the season series at AT&T Park. Another beautiful day by the bay here in San Francisco. And the D-backs have won 8 of 9 in this ballpark this year. They've won 6 straight here. And a chance today to close out a series sweep as the Diamondbacks look for a 3rd straight shutout win. Arizona Diamondbacks baseball is brought to you by Sanderson Ford. And good afternoon from AT&T Park. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthune, Bob Brenly along the way as the D-backs go for the series sweep and the series shutout of these Giants. Bob, for whatever reason, the Diamondbacks have felt right at home in this ballpark this year. They have outscored the Giants 39-13 at AT&T Park this season.
You know, usually it's tough to explain numbers like this because it is such an oddity to dominate a team in their home ballpark. But when you think about the Diamondbacks roster, the kind of baseball they play, solid defense, aggressive base running, they don't rely on the home run ball. This is a perfect ballpark for them to excel in.
And A.J. Pollock has been a big part of that. A.J. hitting .436 in this ballpark this year, all part of an all-star season for the Diamondback center fielder.
Remarkable numbers for A.J. Pollock. Of course, when you talk about major league center fielders, Mike Trout, Andrew McCutchen, some of the names that are bandied about nationally, get all the recognition. But A.J. just goes out, puts up his numbers, gets on the plate, drives in runs, scores runs, steals bases. One of the best all-around players in the game.
He's already had a big weekend here going into the series and season series finale. Can they close out the San Francisco sweep? Jeremy Hellickson and Tim Hudson, your pitching matchup. We will get it started when we come back from San Francisco on Fox Sports Arizona. Diamondbacks are going for the 3-game sweep of the defending World Series champs. D-backs 8-1 this season in this ballpark. They've won a franchise record 6 straight here. And along the way have outscored the Giants 39-13 in this ballpark this year. Giants have been shut out by the D-backs 5 times here this year, including each of the last 3 games. On the mound for the Giants, your Arizona Ford starting pitcher is 40-year-old right-hander Tim Hudson in his 17th and final major league season. This is it for him. And he's only got a couple of precious starts left, set to retire at the end of the year. Today, his 477th career major league start.
He missed 33 games with a right shoulder strain and came back from that right shoulder strain. Talking to Mike Krukow, the Giants TV analyst, said his stuff was better than ever. Relies heavily on 3 different fastballs, a 4-seamer, a cutter, a 2-seamer. Mix in an occasional curveball. He does have a straight changeup, but you'll see a lot of fastballs with movement from Tim Hudson.
A lineup for Chip Hale's Diamondbacks in this series and season finale.
That guy, A.J. Pollock, once again leading it off. He loves it here in San Francisco. 5 for 8 in this series. Scored 3 runs. Ender Inciarte in right field. Paul Goldschmidt at first base. David Peralta out in left field. Wellington Castillo back behind the plate. Jake Lamb at third. Chris Owings at second. Nick Ahmed at short. And right-hander Jeremy Hellickson on the mound.
Ron Culpa is our plate umpire. A.J. Pollock in there, and we are underway by the Bay on a sunny Sunday in San Francisco. Brandon Crawford right out of the gate doing what Brandon Crawford does. Make spectacular plays at shortstop to take a base hit away from A.J. Pollock.
I'll tell you, it's one thing to make spectacular plays at shortstop, but when it's on the first pitch of the game, that's pretty amazing right there. You've got to be ready to play baseball when that first pitch is thrown, and Brandon Crawford just showed that he was ready.
And Tim Hudson, nothing new after 17 years, getting ground ball outs. Here's Ender Inciarte. Ender 297 and 4 home runs, coming off a 3-hit game yesterday. Matt Duffy in on the grass at third. Bob, as you mentioned, Hudson missed all of August with a right shoulder strain. He's made just 2 starts, in fact, since the end of July. A pair of relief appearances earlier this month in there as well. And pitched very well against the D-backs at Chase Field a couple of weeks ago, September 8th. There's a base hit for Inciarte. He drops it in front of Jared Parker in right field, a 1-out single. Take a look at the Giants around Tim Hudson, our mid-first bank starting defense for San Francisco.
Alejandro De Aza once again in left field. We learned on Friday night that he can't touch his toes. Angel Pagan out in center field. Jared Parker getting the start in right field for Marlon Byrd today. Matt Duffy, Brandon Crawford on the left side of the infield with Kelby Tomlinson and Buster Posey on the right side. Trevor Brown once again doing the catching today for veteran right-hander Tim Hudson.
Here's Goldie. Off-speed pitch to start him off. 0-1. Goldie's 6th in the National League and hitting at .317. Still second in the league in RBIs and 3rd in OPS. A ball and a strike. Goldie 3 for 7 in the series. He's also walked 3 times here this weekend. Double play ball. Crawford, Tomlinson, Posey, there you roll it. 3 ground ball outs in the inning for Tim Hudson, just underway in San Francisco. against the D-backs in their last 30 innings. And the man who will get the baton in this shutout relay race is Jeremy Hellickson, your Arizona Ford starting pitcher. A rough time of it in his previous start. He lasted 1 inning against the Padres after missing a month with a left hamstring strain. It was the shortest outing of Jeremy's career.
And he said probably the worst inning he can ever remember pitching at the major league level. You see his arsenal. He'll rely heavily on the four-seamer and the straight changeup. When his curveball is good, he'll go to that quite often. And the two-seamer, a valuable weapon when he's looking for that ground ball.
Jeremy had won his last 2 starts before he had to go on the DL with that hamstring injury. He had pitched very well. This will be just his 2nd start since August 17th, and today goes for his 10th win this year and the 50th of his career.
Just thinking about Jeremy Hellickson and any visiting pitcher. You come into San Francisco and you tell yourself, boy, that'll be nice cool conditions, you know, pitching in that big ballpark, and you come out here and it's close to 85 degrees and sunny. There's very little wind. Ball figures to jump today if you make good solid contact.
Yeah, it is another picture postcard day. We have had tremendous weather here. Hotter than they're accustomed to in the Bay Area this time of year. And Angel Pagan leads it off for the Giants. Angel Pagan, couple of home runs, 264 on the season. 1 for 6 in the series. He singled yesterday. Hellickson ahead 0-2, throwing strikes. Along the left field line, David Peralta has it in fair territory for the first out. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Giants here today.
Angel Pagan just flied out to left field. He'll be in center once again today. Alejandro De Aza in left field. Matt Duffy down at third base. Buster Posey at first. Has great numbers this month. 6 extra base hits. Jared Parker out in right field. Brandon Crawford at shortstop. Kelby Tomlinson at second base with Trevor Brown doing the catching for right-hander Tim Hudson.
Alejandro De Aza. Then again, Bob, who among us can touch our toes?
Well,
so De Aza,
it's an effort.
had some trouble in a ball in the left field corner Friday night here.
He's a highly paid professional athlete.
De Aza 258, 7 homers.
In case you weren't with us, Goldie hit a ball down the left field line. De Aza got over there, seemed to be in pretty good shape to make the play, but just couldn't quite get the glove all the way down to the ground.
It happens. It is rolled foul in front of Bill Hayes at first. This turned out to be really the key play in the ball game.
Big play in the game. Whoops.
That brought in the game's first run. Then Goldie later scored. And the Diamondbacks won 2-0 behind Ruby De La Rosa, and a great job by the bullpen. That was in the 6th inning. 0-2 on De Aza. That one will reach the seats. Look out.
Watch out.
Jake Lamb almost went over the top rope. Jake's mom and dad are here. Got to chat with them in the hotel this morning. Mom holding her breath on this one.
I'll tell you, I've talked about it many times, and that particular fence right there, a little bit below waist level, and a lot of ballparks are even lower than that. Really tough for corner infielders and corner outfielders. When you get over near that barrier and you know you're going to get your legs chopped out from underneath you, it takes a huge heart to go over there and try to make that play.
Giants right now really just crushed by injuries, hanging on to postseason hopes by a slim thread. They are without Hunter Pence, no Nori Aoki, no Gregor Blanco. All those outfielders on the DL right now, so it's kind of piecemeal for Bruce Bochy right now. He's got Parker in right and De Aza in left. This is upstairs, a ball and 2 strikes.
Good miss that time. You could see Wellington Castillo sitting up high behind the plate. He wanted that fastball elevated. That's exactly what Jeremy Hellickson did. You're hitting the count 0-2. You can afford to waste a pitch or two to get to that strike three pitch or that easy ground ball pitch, and that time an elevated fastball was called for.
That one is smothered by Goldie. What a grab by America's first baseman. 2 outs. Takes extra bases away from Alejandro De Aza.
We talked about it in the open of the game, the success the Diamondbacks have had in this ballpark, and this is one of the reasons. You play good, solid defense. You don't give up the extra base hits. You don't give up the extra 90 feet. Makes it tougher for an undermanned Giants team to find ways to get on the plate.
2 down for Matt Duffy, the rookie third baseman. Got a couple of hits in the series, both singles. Matt Duffy hitting an even .300. He's got 10 home runs. And making today his 65th consecutive start at third base. That's the Giants' longest start streak this year. Not surprising considering all the injuries they've had. And this guy has been, along with Buster Posey, kind of the steady Eddie in this lineup. Duffy 77 hits since the All-Star break. That ties him with A.J. Pollock and the Reds' Brandon Phillips for the National League lead. Two and one.
Everything good so far for Jeremy Hellickson. Fastball location has been good. We've seen a couple of good curveballs, and there a straight changeup down below the bottom of the zone.
Yeah, he just saw everything go wrong in that first inning against the Padres last Monday. Will Myers led off the game with a home run, and it went downhill from there. A 37-pitch first inning for Jeremy. Take a look at the Diamondbacks around their right-hander. Our mid-first bank starting defense.
Peralta, Pollock, and Inciarte left to right across the outfield this afternoon. Jake Lamb and Nick Ahmed at third and short. Chris Owings and Paul Goldschmidt at second and first. Wellington Castillo doing the catching for Jeremy Hellickson.
2-2 on Duffy. Base hit. He's a tough out. And here's another one, Buster Posey.
That is not a bad pitch by Jeremy Hellickson. Change up, down and out over the plate. That Duffy way out in front, protecting with the 2-strike swing, and found that hole in the left side of the infield.
Buster Posey third in the National League, batting .327, and leads the Giants with those 90 RBIs. Boy, Hellickson really mixing it up here to open up the ball game. A lot of breaking balls, curveball changeup.
I take that as a sign that he felt pretty good in his warm-up session today. Sometimes a guy will leave that bullpen and leave his curveball down there or leave his changeup down there in the bullpen and really struggle in the early part of the ball game. But looks like Jeremy has everything working right now.
Duffy will run occasionally, 8 for 8 in his stolen base attempts this year. Oh, 2.
And now you may see him attempt to steal a base. I don't think Bruce Bochy likes to run with Buster Posey when he has a good hitter's count. But once that count goes to 2 strikes, this is a more likely time to try to steal that base. And if Duffy happens to get thrown out, you've got Buster with a fresh at bat leading off the next inning.
And with Hellickson ahead, you figure to see the curveball or the changeup here?
Possibly something in the dirt. Of course, the other side of that is you could also see a pitch out.
Duffy holds. Jeremy misses inside. A ball and 2 strikes. Well, Posey's certainly red hot right now. Last 19 games, he's hitting better than .420. Duffy holds. Buster gets a piece.
Oh, what a play.
Nice catch. Front row brought the glove. Good thing.
That was A.J. Pollock-like as he reached over the railing to make the catch. Be careful. Woo. Gentleman in a white shirt at the bottom right of your screen right there.
Don't lean over that far. Right back to the mound. Hellickson gets a glove on it. The former Golden Glover recovers and throws him out. We are through one, no score in San Francisco.
The keys to the ball game today, with the Diamondbacks whooping up on the Giants here at AT&T. Maintain your dominance. And against Tim Hudson, this is the advice you hear from every hitting coach: see it up. Throws that sinker, throws the splitter, everything down, 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 looking for ground balls. Got a double play off the bat of Goldie back in that first inning, so see it up.
David Peralta leads off the second. You saw Jeremy Hellickson stretching out both sides there on the roof of the dugout. David 8th in the National League at .308. He's got 15 home runs. And Hudson being careful here, behind 2-0. David had 3 hits yesterday, an RBI and a run scored. Rounded out in his only at bat Friday. That snapped a 13-game hitting streak, but he's already got a new streak going, and he adds to it right here. Rolls it into right, a leadoff single.
Now we mentioned see it up against Tim Hudson. Try to avoid those ground balls. Don't let his infield defense work behind him. And this is why. Highest ground ball percentage among active pitchers. Tim Hudson at the top of the list this year, no exception. Right at 58% ground ball percentage this year as well.
Yeah, that'll rank you among the elite in the major leagues. Hudson pitched very well at Chase Field September 8th. Just 4 hits in 6 innings of work. He got the win. Here's Wellington Castillo. Hudson had a no decision in his previous start. That was against the Reds last Monday. Went just 4 1/3 with the hip discomfort. This was the line 2 starts ago against the Diamondbacks. Another double play ball against Hudson. Crawford, Tomlinson, Posey. That's 2 in 2 innings. And he's done that for 17 years.
You just get the impression Tim Hudson never feels like he's in trouble with a runner at first base because of that ground ball. As long as he can get the opposing hitters to put it somewhere near his infield defenders, he's got a chance to get a double play and get out of the jam.
And he knows he's only got 1 or 2 more starts, and that's it for good. So you know that he's going to give it absolutely everything he's got here today. Not that he doesn't always, but this one and the next one coming up will be extra special, I'm sure. There's Jake Lamb, strike 1.
Well, we touched on the next one coming up should be against the Oakland A's next weekend, and we talked about Barry Zito being called up to the big leagues from the AAA club of the Oakland A's. Would seem to be a perfect fit, and what a way for Tim Hudson to end his career.
Yeah, Zito just called up following a whole year at AAA. Mark Mulder will join them for the first pitch in a Moneyball reunion. And Bruce Bochy really trying to make sure, after Hudson had hip discomfort in his last start, that he gets Hudson to that Oakland game healthy. Because as Bochy said, it would be a pretty special way to end his career, starting there and finishing as well. This is out to left field for De Aza. No score in San Francisco. Bottom 2 coming up. Cox Giga Blast. How will you live the gig life? By Lone Butte Casino. You're in for more winning moments at Lone Butte Casino. And by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. Our last visit to San Francisco for the year, set for the bottom of the second. Diamondbacks and Giants. Steve Perfume, Bob Brenly, and Todd Walsh with you. Jared Parker leads it off against Jeremy Hellickson. Boy, Jeremy has been a strike thrower. 20 pitches so far, 16 strikes. Parker 4 for 14 with a home run to begin his big league career. 26-year-old rookie. Parker had his first career home run here last Tuesday in their loss to the Reds. Had what would have been his second home run taken away by A.J. Pollock Friday night. And one of the plays of the year around Major League Baseball. 1-2. This was A.J. Friday in the left center field gap.
Boy, never get tired of seeing this. It looked like a home run off the bat. A.J. didn't give up on it, tracked it all the way to the wall, and made a leaping catch to bring it back in.
Unbelievable. And there's the first strikeout for Hellickson. He gets Parker. One down in the second. Brandon Crawford now. Crawford 1 for 7 in the series. He has singled and struck out 4 times, hitting .254 on the year. And despite the fact he's not hit a home run in well over a month, he still leads the Giants in homers.
Now Crawford got a hit in his first at bat in the ball game yesterday. Looked like maybe that timing and rhythm were starting to come back, but then hit a tapper back to the mound and struck out in his next 2 at bats.
He's really had problems with injuries here down the stretch. Calf and oblique issues. In and out of the lineup since the last week of August. In fact, Crawford had a 13-game hitting streak going last month. Once that got snapped, he has gone 5 for his last 50 at the plate. Right to Nick Ahmed at shortstop. Second baseman now, Kelby Tomlinson. Boy, you look around this Giant lineup and you wonder how they've hung in this long. I mean, just the position players alone. No Joe Panic, no Hunter Pence, no Aoki, no Blanco. Let's go around and around. Just decimated by injuries this year. They've lost both their backup catchers, Susac and Sanchez. Matt Cain's been on the DL all year. Tim Lincecum. On and on and on. There's a strike.
You know, and every team has injuries over the course of the season, but I think, you know, the timing of those injuries. If you have them early in the season, guys rehab and come back. Many times you end up with fresh players in the month of September, guys coming back from injuries. But when it's the other way around and you're healthy early in the season and ailing late in the season, you see things happen like have happened to the Giants here recently.
Yeah, they just lost Brandon Belt earlier in this series. He still has some lingering concussion issues. And they are just about out of time. The Giants begin play today. 8.5 games behind the Dodgers for the NL West lead with only 14 to play. Dodgers in action today, hosting the Pirates in LA. 0-2 on Tomlinson. They think there's a chance they could get Pence back for the last homestand. They finish up on the 28th against the Dodgers and the Rockies, so Pence could play again this year. That's about it. And it'll probably be too little too late. 2 strikeouts in the inning. Jeremy Hellickson is on his game here today. Got the ground ball working. 2 strikeouts in the second. No score as we head to the third. And celebrate Hispanic Heritage Day with us at Chase Field. Saturday, October 3rd. It's presented by Budweiser. You can enjoy a pregame street festival brought to you by APS. Then stick around after the game for a concert featuring Latin recording artist Luis Coronel, presented by Sprint and Samsung. For tickets, just check out dbacks.com. Chris Owings leads off the third against Tim Hudson. First pitch swinging. High fly ball center field. Bright sky up there for Pagan. One pitch, one out in the third.
Yeah, we talked about it in yesterday's day game. The sun really affects the guys on the left side of the field, especially later in the ball game. Yeah, wind is kind of swirling around today. It wasn't blowing much when the game started. Then it was blowing straight out to right. Now it appears to be blowing from left to right. But not much of a factor today. Not as much as usual here in San Francisco.
Not even a wisp of a cloud overhead. Very bright sky up there. Nick Ahmed. Nick in there at shortstop this afternoon. Hitting .223 on the year. He's got 9 home runs. Gets a hold of this one, shoots it toward the left field corner, and that ball is foul. How did that miss? Just couldn't keep it fair.
Well, I just mentioned the wind appears to be blowing from the left field corner to the right field corner. Thought it would help keep that one fair, but just slices into foul territory. That's too bad.
Well, I tell you what, Nick has really found the power here in this month of September. He's hitting over .320 this month, but he's got 4 doubles, 3 triples, 2 homers. He nearly had a third right there. And suddenly he's down 1-2.
Hey fans, when the D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. A day after every Diamondbacks victory, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com.
First strikeout for Hudson, 2 down.
And when you touch a guy's fastball and narrowly miss a home run down the left field line, you can figure you're going to see some breaking balls after that. And Tim Hudson came right back with a slider on the inside corner and then a slider away to get the strikeout.
Jeremy Hellickson has been a hitter this year. Eight base hits on the season. No balls and 2 strikes. Hudson not messing around here.
Neither is Ron Culpa. He likes to get that right arm in the air. He is a strike caller. If you're a hitter and Ron Culpa is a home plate umpire, you better be ready to swing.
There's Ron Culpa. Hot day to be back there. Larry Vanover, the crew chief, is at first. Brian Knight at second. And Vic Carapaz at third.
Hey, hot dog!
Able to check. D-backs have 11 wins against the Giants this year. A win today would give them 12 to finish off the season series. That would also tie a club record against the Giants set in 2001 and 2002. You had a little something to do with that.
Just an observer.
What have you observed about the season series this year? We've talked about the injuries. Is that part of the explanation?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. And, you know, this is not the typical Giants pitching staff that we're used to facing either. You know, they're very undermanned as well. And some guys maybe on the downside of their career. But as we said in the open, I think it's just a case that the Diamondbacks' strengths fit very well in this ballpark.
Well, Tim Hudson flexing his muscles. He set down 5 in a row. No score. Bottom third coming up. Continues to be your home for postseason action with the American League Division and Championship Series. Don't miss a moment of the drama and all the history. It all begins October 8th on FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. We've seen a few postseason moments in this ballpark.
Oh, yeah.
In this decade.
Every other year.
Yeah. But this is an odd numbered year. So far so good for Jeremy Hellickson. He's looked very good. The changeup and the breaking ball have looked outstanding. He's been throwing strikes. He's given up just one hit, a single by Matt Duffy. He's retired 4 in a row, and the rookie Trevor Brown, in just his second major league game, will lead it off here in the Giant third.
Spoke to some of my Giant sources again this morning, and they did confirm that there's some serious heat to this Joey Votto thing. I even mentioned the contract, and they said that's not a factor. The Giants have plenty of money. They think Joey Votto would be a great fit for this team. They think they have a package of prospects that would help the Reds get out from underneath that big contract. So keep your eye on that.
I got two problems with that.
Okay.
One, that eliminates any chance of Buster Posey potentially moving to first base, unless you're going to make Votto an outfielder or something, which I suppose you could do, but probably not a great idea. Secondly, they don't have any pitching. I mean, they got Mad Bum, and Chris Heston's had a nice year. Other than that, they got nothing.
I know, but I don't listen to many rumors, but I kind of like that one.
It's going to be an interesting winter. So here is Trevor Brown, the rookie, 23-year-old, who was 0 for 3 yesterday in his major league debut.
And with the emergence of Matt Duffy, that kind of eliminates third base as a possible landing spot for Buster Posey on days he did not catch. And remember, Posey was basically a shortstop in college.
Now, Posey's making a few bucks too. He's got a 9-year, $167 million deal. And the money for Votto is staggering.
Yeah.
To put it mildly, the Reds, they will owe Joey Votto between $20 and $25 million a year every year for the next 8 seasons. And he's 32 years old, or about to be, Joey Votto, so he's no spring chicken. That's a lot of money for guys who aren't pitchers. 3-0.
Well, Buster Posey was also the closer at Florida State, so
that's true. Maybe they got something in mind.
Talk about a super utility player. Catch, play first, play third, and close games.
Well, Trevor Brown is a base runner for the first time in his major league career, a leadoff walk. And as we know, Tim Hudson, every Giant pitcher, whether they're hurt or not, they can hit.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. Best hitting pitching staff in baseball. Tim Hudson was a really good hitter at Auburn. For a while held the school record in many offensive categories, but most of his attention is focused out on that bump now.
Jake Lamb comes well in from third. Still creeping in. He's halfway now. Bunts it toward the first base line, away from Lamb, and it's foul. Boy, Tim Hudson turned 40 in July, his 17th and final season in the big leagues. It's been quite a career. He's won 221 games. A career ERA of 3.49.
Boy, and to his credit, he looks exactly the same now as he did when he got to the big leagues.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, he's kept himself in tremendous physical condition. A lot of guys, once they get on the other side of 35, they get a little rounder every year when they show up at spring training, but not Tim Hudson.
That rolls foul. It's funny, you know, he wasn't really sought after coming out of Auburn. He was a 6th round pick by the A's. And some of the scouting reports on Tim Hudson coming out of college, less than impressive. One scout wrote he could potentially be a long reliever in the big leagues. And there was another report that described him as a shorter version of Bruce Keeson. Bruce Keeson was a pretty good pitcher.
Yeah. Nice career. He was a blade, though. He was tall and thin. Yeah, really thin.
Hudson still checks in at 6'1", 175, at least officially. 1-2. Called strike 3. Jeremy Hellickson rings up Hudson, who's trying to give himself up. Third strikeout. First out here in the third.
Well, I love that. If you've got an overhand curveball like this with that kind of movement, it's tough to bunt that pitch, because as you can see, Hudson was up in the front of the batter's box, squared around, almost had his nose in the strike zone, and you see that curveball coming right at your head. Your natural instinct is to get out of the way, and then it dropped right in there for a called strike.
He has been very sharp here today. 40 pitches, 28 strikes. Here's Pagan, who flied out his first time up. And Pagan these days moving a lot better than he has all year. He's got some nagging knee problems behind him. Missed almost all of August after finally addressing that tendonitis in his right knee. The left knee has been an issue as well. And he's hit safely in 14 of 17 games this month since he came off the DL. There's a strike. Goes away and gets the strike call from Ron Kulpa. Angel Pagan has some thoughts on that. You were mentioning, Bob, Ron Kulpa is a strike caller.
Yes, he is. And it's not even close. Wow. Take it.
1-2. Boy, they set up inside. That tailed away from Pagan. Jeremy missed the glove by a good bit there, but he gets the strikeout.
So bad it was good. Yeah, well, he wants that pitch inside. It runs way up and away from Pagan, but he could not hold up.
Well, Jeremy clearly feeling a lot better than he did in his last start, that 37 pitch first against the Padres, and he was just kind of lost out there. Admittedly, said he couldn't find the zone. In fact, there were a handful of fastballs. He said he was basically just trying to throw it right down the middle just to try and find the strike zone, but he is clearly not having that issue here today. Alejandro De Aza. Strike one. Ron Kulpa. Ron's got to catch a flight, I guess.
Oh, wow. This strike zone is reminiscent of Eric Gregg in that 97 playoffs for Livan Hernandez against the Braves.
I mean, yikes. And it's a good thing that those pitches are off the plate because they're up. Oftentimes we see Jeremy, when he wants to get a swing and a miss, bury that pitch down in the dirt, but he's throwing those breaking balls early in counts and sort of stealing strikes with them, and Kulpa's helped out a couple of times here. Here goes Brown. The throw from Castillo is not in time. Throw is up there high, headed towards center field, and they can't get the glove down. It's a stolen base for the rookie Trevor Brown.
Wellington's throw just a little high. If it's down closer to the bag, they get Brown at second base. And I love what Nick Ahmed did right there. Just tag a body part as he goes by. With the replay review, you never know. You might get that tag on a guy's heel as he goes into his head first slide before his hand gets on the base.
So Trevor Brown, a base runner in the big leagues for the first time in his career, gets a stolen base. And it's a count of 2 balls and 1 strike on De Aza with 2 outs and Brown at second. Fly ball left field for Peralta. Jeremy Hellickson works around the leadoff walk. No score through 3.
Hudson, a month and 2 days after his major league debut in 1999, he rolled into Bank One Ballpark, as it was called, and outdueled Randy Johnson. 3 hits, 8 in the third. He struck out 9 Diamondbacks. Only Andy Fox, Travis Lee, and Luis Gonzalez managed to get on base against Tim Hudson that day. Randy Johnson gave up a leadoff home run to Tim Raines, and that was it. Who knew what Tim Hudson was about to unveil and throughout the course of his major league career? But Steve and Bob, I love what he said about the end. He sees the end, he knows it's coming, and he's okay with it. Sort of going out on his terms.
Well, that 2-year, $23 million contract he signed with the Giants before last year is about to expire. Just turned 40 a couple of months ago. He's got a ring. He's accomplished everything you could hope to accomplish. And here he is. Enjoy it. 0-1 on A.J. Pollock.
And by all accounts, a great teammate, and there's something to be said for that. You love guys that have great careers and you respect their numbers and what they were able to accomplish, but some guys will tell you their numbers and what they accomplished over the course of their career. Tim Hudson has always been a team first guy, and his teammates really appreciate that.
Rolled to third for Matt Duffy. Well, Hudson has been an all-star 4 times. 4 times he finished in the top 6 in the Cy Young voting. He never won the award. I guess that's the one thing that's missed. He won 20 games 1 time, and that was his second year in the big leagues in 2000 with the A's. He was 20-6. Finished second in the Cy Young to Pedro Martinez. Ender Inciarte singled his first time up. One of the 2 Diamondback hits so far against Hudson. And that one skips into right center field. Ender Inciarte thinking about 2, and he's going to try it here. Ender is in there. Crawford couldn't hang on to the ball, and as he attempted to get the tag on Inciarte, it's a hustle double. 26th double this year for Ender Inciarte. He's at second with 1 out.
Boy, the Diamondbacks have really hit the fast forward button when they get guys on base in this series, or in this case coming out of the batter's box, really testing the Giants outfield arms. at every opportunity. Ender Inciarte running right in the face of Angel Pagan and makes it safely.
Ender, a 3-hit game yesterday, 2 for 2 today. Here's Goldie. Play on at second. Well, that play we just saw right there is what makes the Diamondbacks so much fun to watch. They are always putting that foot down on the accelerator every chance they get. This one has a chance to not get through. Crawford's there. Looks like it might sneak into left center. Those things don't get by Brandon Crawford, however. Ender's in at third now with 2 outs. So Goldie is grounded out twice. Here's David Peralta.
It was interesting watching that clip of Tim Hudson earlier in his career pitching at Bank One Ballpark. That's back in the days when he used to use that power split-fingered fastball all the time. That was a devastating pitch for Hudson earlier in his career. Still has it in his back pocket, but has learned how to pitch more efficiently and economically using that fastball that sinks, cuts, and can elevate it in the zone as well.
Peralta singled his first time up. So David has now hit safely in 23 of his last 26 games. And during that span, he's batting better than .360. He has shown 0 signs of letting up from the offensive pace he's been on ever since, well, really the middle of June. No let up whatsoever. You thought for a while, okay, he's hot. Okay, he's having a good month. Well, okay, he's having a great second half. It's just gone on and on. He's hitting about .360, in fact, since the All-Star break. Two and one now. Hudson getting some of those Ron Culpa strike calls. How about that? He's among the league leaders in hits during the second half of the year, just behind both A.J. Pollock and Ender Inciarte. It's outside, says Ron Culpa. 3-1. Wellington Castillo would be next. Just left it up over the outer half. Peralta fouls it off. It's a full count, 3-2. Ball 4. First walk issued by Tim Hudson. They're on the corners with 2 outs for Wellington Castillo.
Hey, Diamondbacks fans. When the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating location. You know what kind of tacos those are?
Free?
Beef.
Beef on the menu. You get the sense that Hudson really didn't want to give Peralta anything to hit in that at bat. Once he fell behind in the count, he got Castillo to hit into a double play his first time up. And so he attacks Castillo with strike 1. Well, he 0 for 4 an RBI ground out Friday. He was off yesterday. He's got 8 hits in his last 8 games. 2 of them home runs. What a contrast with this battery. You've got Tim Hudson back there. 477th big league start, and Trevor Brown in his second. How about that? But this converted second baseman, the rookie catcher, has had very good reviews from the Giants pitching staff so far. And Brown has caught several of these guys in the minors when they were rehabbing. Peavy and Matt Cain, guys like that. He has been talking a lot this weekend to the Giants veteran pitchers about the Diamondback hitters, Trevor Brown, looking for things they've noticed. How do I attack these guys? What do you look for here? Hudson right now looking for one more strike, getting out of this mess. 1-2. There goes Peralta, called strike 3. Second strikeout for Tim Hudson. He strands runners on the corners. Still no score in San Francisco. Go D-backs and Giants. After this ball game, we are on an airplane headed to LA. We take a look at the rest of this road trip. Let's go places. Brought to you by your Valley Toyota dealers. First of 4 starting tomorrow at Dodger Stadium. LA, Bob, will throw 3 lefties at the Diamondbacks in this 4-game series.
Yeah, how about that? One really good one in the final game on Thursday, but Brett Anderson's had his moments this year. Alex Wood got banged around pretty good last time the Diamondbacks saw him. Of course, Zach Greinke is Zach Greinke.
And how about Corbin and Kershaw?
Ooh,
Thursday afternoon, that's a day game.
Good one.
Jeremy Hellickson has been outstanding here so far. He's faced 11 Giants hitters. He's thrown a first pitch strike 9 times. He's had 9 2-strike counts so far. He's given up just 1 hit. He's walked 1. He struck out 4. And Matt Duffy, who has that 1 hit, leads off the 4th. Duffy leading all major league rookies in hits. Only the Cubs' Chris Bryant has more RBIs. 1-1. Chris Owings at second behind the bag makes a tremendous diving stop. Some COD. Chris Owings at second base takes a base hit away from Matt Duffy. What a play by CO.
Tremendous play. We've seen a lot of defensive gems in this series. And the Giants, especially as undermanned as they are right now, are not a team that can rely on hitting the ball out of the ballpark to score runs. So if you can keep runners off base with outstanding defensive plays like that, you've got a good chance to beat this team.
That one was sure seemed like it was heading into center field for a base hit, but Owings took it away. 1 out now. Here's Posey. Posey tapped back to the mound in his first at bat today. First pitch swing and pops it up very short right in Ciarte. Quickly 2 down.
Boy, those are big outs right there. One of the best hitters in the National League, one of the most dangerous hitters, no doubt, in this Giants lineup right now. And to retire him on one quick pitch and not have to grind that Buster Posey at bat, that's a big out.
That's been a big change in Buster Posey. Clearly it's working. He's 3rd in the National League in hitting, but he has been very aggressive early in counts all season long. Jared Parker struck out his first time up. That time Posey's aggressiveness worked to Hellickson's advantage. There's strike 1. Jared Parker, a 2nd round pick by the Giants in the draft 5 years ago out of the University of Virginia. So like the D-backs Phil Gosselin, he's a UVA Wahoo. Laces that one foul, and it's no balls and 2 strikes.
That's pretty solid fielding by the Giants fans here early in the ball game today. Nice barehanded snag on that line drive.
Didn't need a glove. Gets ahead 0-2, then throws one in the dirt, but Parker's not biting. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Parker 3 hits in 6 at bats this month following his recall from the minors just about a week ago. They are running out of outfielders here. And Jeremy Hellickson gets the strikeout. That's 5 strikeouts for Hellickson. He's retired 6 in a row with some help from Chris Owings. No score through 4.
Outstanding play in the field. I want to flash back to yesterday, and I know this didn't really play into the outcome, but I still love what happened here. Running out this high pop fly where he winds up at second base. I hope you remember the post-game conversation we had with Chip Hale on D-Backs Live, the post-game show. When I asked him about that play, he said, look, yes, it was part of the scouting report going in, the high sky and the brutal sun. We got to run everything out, but it still goes to, I think, also what Chip told his team before the start of this series. You got to play a certain way as we wind down the ceiling. And Bob, I don't know about you, but that to me is sort of the epitome of how you want him to play, right?
Oh, absolutely. And, we talked about it yesterday when it happened. There are players in the major leagues that still would have been thrown out at first base on that play.
Yep.
Chris Owings ends up on second.
I remember when Tony La Russa was thinking about mulling over coming to the Diamondbacks. He was in the press box for an extended stretch of games, and no one could quite figure out why he was there. Chris Owings made a play in foul territory. I told the story before. A running catch behind his back, and maybe a 360 involved in it. And Tony stood up and gave him a standing ovation. Kind of an indication that he.
Maybe that was the play that swayed him.
I'll put some money on that one.
We're glad he's here regardless. Jake Lamb going to walk that one off now. Jake flied out his first time up. Diamondbacks trying to get their 12th win this year against the Giants. They have now kept the Giants scoreless in 34 consecutive innings in this ballpark.
One of the great characters in the history of this game, and it was a coach with the Giants during part of my career, Don Zimmer. He always insisted that base running will win or lose more games than any other fundamental part of the game.
Take an extra base here or there.
Knowing when to take the extra base, when not to take the extra base. And, you watch teams that run the bases smartly but aggressively, and those are usually the teams that end up winning. And the Diamondbacks have a really nice core of guys who get that.
And Zim saw a baseball game or two in his day.
A few. I mean, we would have one day in spring training where we would get dressed in the morning, and before we would stretch, before we would play catch, before we would do anything, we would just walk out and start at home plate. And Don Zimmer would tell us all the important things that he felt about base running. From the time you left the batter's box, we'd maybe spend 20 minutes at home plate, and then the entire group would move down to first base. Okay, here's the things you have to focus on here at first base. And the whole thing probably took 45 minutes to an hour as we made our way around the bases, and Zim emphasized the fundamentals and what was important and what we should try to do as a team to be good base runners.
Did you remember one thing that he may have said in that tour around the bases that most stood out?
One that always stood out, because I heard Zim do it several times, but at one point he talks about a squeeze play. If you're the batter at home plate on a squeeze play and you see that catcher coming forward to try to get the ball and tag that runner at home plate, take a swing and hit him in the back of the head.
Wait. What?
Not exactly a fundamental, and it never came into practice, but it was kind of his way of breaking it up, because as you know, ball players' attention span is about,
well, you were speaking about base running mistakes, and Jake Lamb just made one there. Well, there's no nice way of letting him off that one. Oops.
Yeah, this had to be a broken hit and run. I got to believe that Chris Owings missed a sign right there. Jake Lamb is not the kind of guy that's going to try to straight steal a base. Certainly not with that bad of a jump. I have to believe there was a missed sign somewhere in there, and a pitch out by the Giants on top of it, which if you're Chip Hale, that's the most concerning thing. Do they have our signs?
Caught stealing 2-4 on the putout. And a 1-1 count now on CO. And Jake was trapped, nowhere to go there.
Yeah, if you're the base runner on a hit and run and the batter does not get the sign, you are going to be thrown out at second base unless the catcher makes a horrible throw.
Especially on a pitch out.
Yeah, I mean, because as a runner on a hit and run, you're not really trying to steal the base. You're trusting that that hitter will put the ball in play somewhere on the ground, and that's your protection to make it to second base and possibly on to third, depending on where the ball is hit. If the batter doesn't get the sign or swings through the ball, you're going to be thrown out.
CO chases one down in the dirt, and Brown completes the strikeout. That's the third for Hudson. 2 down in the 5th.
Well, remember, one of our keys to the game was see it up. Of course, in a 2-strike count, you got to be ready to protect, but that ball bounced on home plate.
Here's Nick Ahmed, who just missed a home run in his first at bat. Just a few feet to the left of the foul pole in the left field corner. Wound up striking out.
Now, the real cardinal sin on a hit and run as a base runner is to get picked off. Because, as I said, you're not trying to straight steal the base.
Swing and bunt here. Duffy, bare hand play at third. And it's a great one. He got him. Matt Duffy, the rookie, throws out Ahmed. The Duff man, it's not all about the offense for the rookie third baseman. How about this play? And we are still scoreless in San Francisco.
Take a look at our Geico this day in Major League Baseball history. Only 2 miles away from this ballpark, Seal Stadium, on September 20th, 1959. The Giants played their very last game at Seal Stadium. They dropped an 8-2 decision to the Dodgers that day. And that ties in nicely with our next graphic. You see that 59 Dodgers team won 9 games at Seal Stadium. Diamondbacks have a chance to equal that mark with a win here today.
It's a pitcher's duel. Tim Hudson and Jeremy Hellickson so far. Jeremy has been outstanding. Just 1 hit, a single by Matt Duffy in the first. He has walked 1, struck out 5, and retired 6 straight as Brandon Crawford leads off the Giant 5th. Crawford grounded out in his first at bat. Oh, 2. Jeremy Hellickson looking for his 10th win this year. It would also be the 50th of his career. Which would only put him about 170 or so behind Tim Hudson.
Well, one last footnote on Seal Stadium. Mike Murphy, who has been the head clubhouse attendant here in San Francisco forever, was actually a bat boy at AAA Seal Stadium in 1954. And then when the team moved out here in 1958, he became the bat boy for the big league team. In his 58th season with the team, he's never missed a home game.
Wow. A great tradition of the old Pacific Coast League out here. The San Diego Padres, San Francisco Seals, Oakland Oaks.
Yep.
Billy Martin came up as an Oakland Oak playing for Casey Stengel.
Yeah, Murph is an icon in San Francisco and all around baseball. You talk to anybody that's played this game over the last 58 years, they know who Mike Murphy is.
Nick Ahmed behind the bag at second. Crawford grounds out to shortstop for the second time. 7 straight retired by Hellickson.
Murph's trademark line is, I don't bother nobody.
It worked.
Murph, what have you been up to? I don't bother nobody.
Sounds like Buddy Hackett.
Oh, here we go again.
That was by request from Todd Walsh. Kelby Tomlinson struck out his first time up. Along the right field line, foul ground, and Ender runs out of room out there. Hey fans, now's the time. Tweet us your strongest fan photo using the hashtag AZDanaStrongFan, and you might see your picture on a Diamondback TV broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. A ball and a strike to Tomlinson, who is hitless in the series. The bat for the rookie starting to slow down a bit. He's hitting only about .235 over his last 19 games. Boy, Jeremy Hellickson is dialed in here today. He looks terrific.
This is the way he looked before the injury. That string of 4 or 5 starts in a row where he was just dealing, commanding all of his pitches, aggressively attacking the strike zone.
Pulled it foul. Jeremy faced the Giants twice this year, but both times back in April. In fact, his first game with the Diamondbacks came against these Giants at Chase Field April 8th. He took the loss, 3 runs, 9 hits. He went only 4 1/3. He won here at AT&T Park April 19th. 6 2/3 innings of 1-run ball, his first win as a Diamondback. 2-2 on Tomlinson. So they haven't seen him for a while. And most of the guys who saw him before are on the DL right now. Two and two. It might roll back fair. You never know. Why not wait?
Yeah, sometimes when you cue them right off the end of the bat like that, they have so much side spin that they come back into fair territory. And that time, Jeremy was going to let it roll to see if it would come back. And Tomlinson was looking at it over his shoulder as he ran the rest of the way down to first baseline. That's kind of comical right there.
All right, then. Might as well pick it up. We had one of those earlier this year where it just took a left and put the blinker on and rolled back into fair territory. Just up and away, and it's a full count, 3-2. Trevor Brown, the rookie catcher, on deck. Still looking for his first big league hit. Missed away. Second walk issued by Hellickson. Pretty good at bat right there for Kelby Tomlinson. And here is Trevor Brown. Bruce Bochy said he yelled at Trevor Brown from inside his office when the rookie walked by on Friday. He said, "Hey!" But he didn't hear him. He just kept walking. He was going to tell him, "You're starting tomorrow." But then Boch figured, well, he'll probably sleep better if he doesn't know. And he didn't know. So when Brown came into the clubhouse yesterday, saw his name up on the lineup board, and holy cow, he was in there. First major league start. And back in there today.
That happens a lot with rookies when you walk by the manager's office and, hey,
keep going.
Just keep going. Act like you didn't hear it.
Well, their 2 primary backups, Andrew Susac, Hector Sanchez, both injured. So Brown was called up last week to join Jackson Williams as backups. Funny thing was, Brown's minor league season had been over. He spent the last 2 weeks at a home with his parents in Valencia, California. Just kind of doing some off-season lifting, getting his program started. Suddenly the phone rang in the middle of the night. Hey, you're going to the big leagues. We need a catcher. 70 pitches for Hellickson, 46 strikes. He said his first big league game yesterday was really exactly what he thought it would be. He said, you know, the first inning, you get behind the plate, you look out, you look at the fans. It was exactly, he said, how he pictured it would be. Double play ball here. Ahmed Owings, they got to hurry. And they can't turn two. Brown beats it out. Hit a little slowly in the hole for the Diamondbacks to get two right there.
Nice effort. Just too much time had elapsed, allowing Trevor Brown, who doesn't have his catcher's legs yet, to run that one out. Those legs will get thicker and heavier as his career progresses, and at some point in the future, he won't leg that one out.
He is a converted second baseman. They like his agility back there. He's got some athletic ability, and they think he could also, if they wanted him to be, play on the right side of the infield as a big leaguer. So they're creating a guy who can catch and maybe play second base as well. Tim Hudson now.
Oh! Good eye, honey.
Those utility guys are so valuable to an organization. Guys that can play multiple positions, especially if one of those positions is behind the plate. We talked about it Friday night. Kelby Tomlinson, the guy running at first base. Second baseman by trade, but they're going to send him to winter ball to start playing some center field just to increase his value, increase his versatility. They think he's a good enough athlete to handle it.
In the air, shallow center. Owings calling for it. Pollock coming in, and AJ has it. And a good job there to navigate some traffic on the bases by Jeremy Hellickson. Still no score at AT&T Park. Valley Honda dealers, where you'll get more standard features for less money. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Mix One, great taste, no face, available at local retailers. A beautiful day by the Bay, our final game against the Giants this year, and still no score. Bruce Bochy says, you know, he wishes he could explain it. He is buffaloed, to be honest, in his words. No rhyme or reason why the Diamondbacks are doing this to his club in their own park. The Giants, it seems, just cannot score a single run against the Diamondbacks here as of late. And he says he's, frankly, stunned.
Buffaloed. I like that. Yeah. Have you seen Bruce Bochy's office here at the ballpark?
No. What's in there?
He's got an elk head. Like it had to be as big as a buffalo. It is huge. I kind of have to walk around it to get over to his desk to say hello.
Trying to intimidate reporters or something?
I guess so.
Hellickson grounds out to open up the 6th. Yeah, he said, look, the Diamondbacks have just done a number on the Giants here this year. There's no way around it. And the D-backs, let's see, they have kept the Giants scoreless now in the last 35 innings in this ballpark. A.J. Pollock 0 for 2. And Jeremy Hellickson so far has more than done his part in his effort to keep that streak alive here. He's given up just 1 hit so far, a single back in the 1st. Hudson has had his share of 1-pitch at bats in the ball game. He's ahead of AJ now, 0-2. Very efficient here today. It's 56 pitches through 5 1/3. Rolled to second, right to Tomlinson. Tim Hudson and his ground ball outs. Two down for Ender Inciarte. Ender 2 for 2, a single and a double after a 3-hit game yesterday. And Ender among the National League leaders in hits since the All-Star break. In fact, only A.J. Pollock, Matt Duffy, and Brandon Phillips have had more base hits in the second half of the year than Ender. You got Triples Alley and that right field wall just sitting out there for Ender Inciarte. We saw him earlier in his career hit one into McCovey Cove. Yeah. And Chip Hale was talking about that. Said Ender has the ability to just throw that top hand out there, hit balls out to right, pull balls in the hole. That's part of his game, just like it is slapping balls the other way into left.
Now, this is a beautiful ballpark, but that is an oddity out there in right field over to right center. You get a little bit of everything. Really short down the line, really deep in the gap.
Short left center. Pagan won't get there. It drops in. And Ender Inciarte has his second consecutive 3-hit game. A 2-out base runner for Goldie.
Pretty much been a one-man offense today. Ender Inciarte with his 3rd hit. The team only has 4. David Peralta had that leadoff single in the 2nd inning, was quickly erased on a double play ball. Other than that, it's been all Ender Inciarte.
Goldie has twice grounded out, once into double play. 3 for 9 in the series. There goes Ender. The throw from Brown. Pitches a strike, not in time. Ender steals the base standing up. And that's his 20th steal of the year.
Had one in last night's ball game as well. 3 against Trevor Brown last night, although just like this one, the blame has to fall on the Giants pitching staff. When you steal a base standing up, that's the pitcher's fault.
Got a pretty decent jump right there. 0-1 on Goldie. We've got Trevor Brown back there, just his 2nd major league start, trying to catch Tim Hudson in what might be his 2nd to last major league start. And Brown, as we mentioned earlier, was polling the veteran pitchers here. How do we attack some of these Diamondback hitters? What do? We talked to Jake Peavy for a long time, talked to Ryan Vogelsong for a long time, and the #1 question they came up with was, how do you pitch to Paul Goldschmidt? They talked a lot about that, and Vogelsong said, well, we don't have the answer. They have an idea of what to do, but there is no answer. So we'll see what they come up with right here. A ball and a strike.
I credit that stolen base once again, like most of the stolen bases for the Diamondbacks offense this year, to Dave McKay. I mean, he has seen Tim Hudson a lot, and the more he sees an opposing pitcher, the more likely he is to find some trigger point in that delivery and tell the runners, just go. He's not going to throw over here. when he does X, Y, and Z, he's always going to throw the ball to home plate. That time, Ender Inciarte, like we've seen so many Diamondbacks runners, just took off while Hudson was standing there.
Ender at second. 2 outs, a ball, and 2 strikes to Goldie. Still no score here in the 6th. 2-2. Boy, you just get the feeling 1 run would be so big for either side at this point. The way these 2 guys have pitched. Hellickson and Hudson. Goldie 2 homers, 7 RBIs in 9 games here at AT&T Park this year. A career .326 hitter in this ballpark. Ender at second, 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Up and in, missed, and it's full 3-2. Peralta would be next. David has singled and walked today. Just the 2nd full count of the ball game for Tim Hudson. They walked him. His 3rd walk. This might be the key at bat in the ball game right here. 2 on, 2 out for Peralta. Bullpen will get busy for the Giants. There's a strike, 0-1. Popped up near the Giant dugout. Duffy's over there, and he's got it. That ends the inning. Hudson strands 2, keeps it scoreless. Keep up with the pennant races in true HD quality on MLB.TV Premium. You can watch every out-of-market game live on more than 400 supported devices. You'll get real-time highlights, live look-ins, a pitch tracking widget, and more. Visit MLB.TV today. Giants have been shut out by the Diamondbacks 5 times here at AT&T Park this season, including each of the last 3. No score here as we start the 6th. And Angel Pagan will lead it off against Jeremy Hellickson. Pagan has flied out, struck out 0 for 2. Giants have not scored a run against the Diamondbacks in their last 35 innings in this ballpark. The D-backs and the 1938 Cubs, the only teams to shut out the Giants at home at least 5 times in the same year. 0-2. So Bruce Bochy continues to be Buffalo. Call him Buffalo Bruce.
I just can't figure it out. He just ain't scoring enough.
Suppose Brett talks like that?
I don't know.
I'd like to find out.
I gotta go warm up.
Father-son chats. Interesting to eavesdrop on those. Pagan 1 for 8 in the series. Base hit. Slaps it the other way. A single leads off the San Francisco 6th. That's just the Giants' second hit and their first since Duffy's single in the first. Bullpen will get busy for the Diamondbacks. Matt Reynolds walking down there. Randall Delgado as well. Alejandro De Aza. De Aza's 0 for 2. Bunts it foul. Hunter Strickland, who was throwing earlier for the Giants, is throwing again down in their bullpen. The right-hander.
With no pitcher spot in sight, that would tell you that perhaps Tim Hudson's afternoon is over. The fact that Strickland continues to throw here while the Diamondbacks are taking, or rather the Giants are taking their at bats.
And De Aza in the 2-hole today. Hudson, of course, batting 9th. So a long way to go before they get to his spot. 0-1.
Giants with fading, almost no hope for the postseason, and certainly the Diamondbacks have been eliminated for a while, but I think tells you both managers are still trying to win every ball game down the stretch here. As soon as a runner gets on base against Jeremy Hellickson, Chip Hale got his bullpen going, righty and a lefty.
That one is down the left field line. That's a fair ball. It's in the corner. Pagan will be waved home by Roberto Kelly. The throw from Ahmed is not in time. Alejandro De Aza makes it 1-0 Giants.
Once again, not a bad pitch. Sinker out there on the outside corner. Just a nicer bit of hitting that time by De Aza to stay on it, drive it down into that corner. Nick Ahmed with a good quick relay to home plate, but Pagan scores easily.
Chip Hale coming out and having a conversation with Ron Copeland now.
Was there fan interference down in that left field corner? You could clearly see a fan reach over the railing. I think the question was it touched or not? Yeah, it looked like there was some contact.
And that would likely put Pagan back at third.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So this is a critical call here. I think Chip walked back to the dugout, and now he's going to walk out to the mound. Maybe to go get Helly here. It looked like somebody touched that ball in the corner. Pagan should be at third base. Randall Delgado coming in. A terrific effort today by Jeremy Hellickson, who leaves trailing 1-0. Is subject to review. You can get them to look at that. That is a reviewable play. And it looked like we had some here in the corner with Pagan at first when De Aza hit that into the corner. Maybe it hit him, maybe it didn't.
Yeah, very tough to tell. I don't think there was a definitive angle that showed enough contact to make anybody comfortable using the review on that particular play.
You would think on a play that close you could get the umpires to make a crew chief review at least, but the run is in. The runners are placed at the ump's option. They might have ruled that he would have scored anyway. And here's Matt Duffy now to face Randall Delgado with De Aza at second, and 1 run in. So the Giants finally get on the board against the Diamondbacks here at AT&T Park after 35 consecutive scoreless innings.
Last time we saw Randall Delgado on Friday night, he was absolutely dealing. Came in to pitch the 7th inning, struck out the side with ease.
Got Bird, Crawford, and Tomlinson. Duffy has one of the Giants' 3 hits today, a single in the first. Boy, Jeremy Hellickson pitched an outstanding ball game here today. He looked terrific. $80 pitches, 55 strikes, 5+, gave up only 3 hits. Walked 2 and struck out 5. This was Delgado Friday in the series opener.
Sometimes just by his body language you can tell that Randall's feeling it out there on the mound. And Friday night he was putting on a show. Everything was crisp and right where he wanted to put it.
The movement on those pitches. But he's behind on a very good hitter, 3-0. And there's a strike. Ball 4. A run in, 2 on, still nobody out, and here's Buster Posey. Posey is 0 for 2. 2 for 9 in the series with a pair of singles. And hitting just under .350 since the All-Star break. Posey continues to be very aggressive early in counts. Quickly down 0-2 here. Flat out on the first pitch he saw in his previous at bat. One and two. Matt Reynolds is standing on the bullpen mound out there. Now he'll take one warm-up toss. He is ready to go. You've got the left-hand hitting Jared Parker on deck. One and two. In the air, left center field. Peralta at the track, at the wall, and it's gone. Buster Posey, that's number 19. And the Giants are putting some runs up on the board finally against the Diamondbacks in this ballpark. Well, the streak had to end sometime, and it ends with a 4-run San Francisco sixth.
Oh, horrible pitch that time. Up above the belt, right in the middle of the plate. Not sure what he was attempting to do right there, but the real error for Randall Delgado was the walk to Matt Duffy. If you can retire Duffy, at least you give yourself the option of maybe pitching around or walking Buster Posey and then going to Matt Reynolds for the left-handed hitter coming up to the plate next.
Well, 35 consecutive scoreless innings, and so far in the sixth, single, double, walk, homer. Diamondbacks are down 4-0. Matt Reynolds is in to face Jared Parker. Still no outs here in the Giants sixth. They lead at 4-0. Check swing foul. 1-2. Parker 4 for 16 to begin his big league career. He has struck out twice today. Called strike 3. So Reynolds with back-to-back lefties coming up gets the first one. He rings up Parker. And now he'll deal to Brandon Crawford with 1 out.
Castillo slides on that inside corner. Matt Reynolds hits his spot. Nothing Parker could do that time. Probably thinking away. Some kind of a breaking ball from the left-handed pitcher. Instead got a heater right on the inside corner.
Silvino Bracho is warming up for the Diamondbacks in their bullpen, the right-hander. Crawford 0 for 2 so far. He has twice grounded out to shortstop. Boy, Hunter Strickland down there in the Giant bullpen. He's been standing around for a while now. He was warming up when this inning started. Looks bored down there, frankly.
If he throws much more, he's going to reach his pitch limit before he even gets into the ball game.
Every minute or so, he'll throw one pitch and go back to reading a magazine, whatever he's doing down there. 1-1. There's Bracho. Keith Hessler down there as well. And now Hessler will begin throwing. Two and two. Got the right hand hitting Kelby Tomlinson on deck. Right-hander Trevor Brown behind him. And Reynolds has worked it full against Crawford, 3-2. Bracho continues to throw for the Diamondbacks.
This game looked like we might only see 2 pitchers in the ball game, the way Hudson and Hellickson started through the first 5 innings of this game. And now with the expanded rosters, we might see 18 pitchers in this game.
Match him up. Chris Owings. And we're going to see a new one right here. Here comes Chip Hale. He wants Bracho, the right-hander, to face Kelby Tomlinson. And Bracho's coming in. We'll take a break from San Francisco. Is brought to you in part by Papa Murphy's. Love at 425 degrees. By Phoenix International Raceway. Join PIR on November 15th for NASCAR. Visit us at phoenixraceway.com and get your tickets now. And by Yancey's Fancy, New York's finest artisan cheese. McCovey Cove, right across the bay here from the ballpark, the Willie McCovey statue in San Francisco, and just a gorgeous sunny Sunday. Getting a little cloudy, however, for the Diamondbacks. It's been a 4-run Giant sixth, and the right-hander, rookie Silvino Bracho, is on to try and end this inning and stop the bleeding here. Jeremy Hellickson's book is closed. He was outstanding today. Deserved a much better fate. 5 innings for Hellickson. He gave up only 3 hits. Charged with 2 runs. He walked 2, struck out 5. We have seen Delgado, Reynolds, and now Bracho in this inning. Tomlinson 0 for 1. He has struck out and walked. I think Hunter Strickland has thrown a complete game in the bullpen. He has been down there the entire time. Starting to feel bad for the guy. Every once in a while he'll throw a pitch out of sheer boredom. Another great catch by a Giant fan. 0-2. He's doing what he can to just stay busy. P90X or something.
If this was football, there'd be an exercise bike down there he could jump on. Just pedal for a little while.
Yeah, like those guys on the sidelines. Bracho comes in and looks good. He strikes out Tomlinson, and this Giant sixth finally ends, but they get 4, and they lead it 4-0. Icons Warriors, 2 of the biggest names in the UFC, face off as coaches as interim featherweight champion Conor McGregor and Uriah Faber join the all-new season of The Ultimate Fighter. The mayhem continues Wednesday only on FS1. Our Gila River game summary: Tim Hudson and Jeremy Hellickson. It was a beauty for a while, but then the wheels came off in the Giant sixth as San Fran got 4. After being held scoreless for 35 consecutive innings by the Diamondbacks in this ballpark. And now Hunter Strickland, who finally does get into the ball game, will open up the 7th against Wellington Castillo. Hopefully he's tired.
Yeah, well, keep in mind it is very hot here today, something you rarely see at a baseball game in San Francisco. The fans on the third base side fanning themselves, waving towels, trying to stay as cool as possible. A lot of people in the upper deck have made their way all the way to the back row down in that left field corner where there's some shade. I mean, this is unheard of at the old ballpark. Too hot? Come on.
And fans.
Yeah, fans too.
Just period. 0-1. Strickland was standing out there on the bullpen mound in that sun the whole time. But doesn't seem to have slowed down the fastball at all. 97, and he's ahead 0-2. Tim Hudson was outstanding again. 6 scoreless innings. He gave up only 4 hits, walked 3, and struck out 3. And now it's Hunter Strickland to start the 7th.
Big arm, big fastball. Tim Hudson threw a lot of fastballs, but they were not nearly the velocity of Hunter Strickland. They did have a lot more movement, but maybe this is what the D-backs need. Somebody just throws hard and straight.
Well, that certainly describes Hunter Strickland. He was throwing rockets for them in their postseason run last year until he got a little upset at Salvador Perez of the Royals.
Pretty impressive for a guy with a, as I call it, a big arm. Throws in the upper 90s, occasionally touching 100 miles per hour, but he's only walked, what was it, 9 batters? Yeah, 9 batters in over 46 innings of work.
He's not been especially effective lately. His ERA last 15 appearances is 4.5. But ahead of Castillo, a ball and 2 strikes. Reaches out and lifts it to Pagan in center. 1 down in the 7th. As promised earlier in the ball game, take a look at our AZ Data Strong fan photo. Get your picture in courtesy of T-Mobile, and you may see yourself at a Diamondbacks TV broadcast. There's Rich and friend. Jake Lamb has flied out and walked. Jake's parents flew down from the Seattle area to watch the series here this weekend. Bounce to second for Tomlinson. 2 outs. Chris Owings now. CO had a pair of hits and an RBI yesterday. 0 for 2 so far today. Well, that 6th inning was big. Diamondbacks had a chance top half against Hudson. 1st and 2nd, 2 outs. Peralta hit that foul pop up that Duffy caught along the railing there to win the inning. And then in the home half, the Giants put up a 4 spot. And the momentum has quickly changed.
Knowing Bruce Bochy the way we do, Hunter Strickland pitching effectively right now, but if a Diamondbacks runner would happen to reach, we're going to see relief pitchers jumping out of that third base dugout the rest of the afternoon.
He's got a few to choose from back there. Their game notes has 2 pages worth of pitchers, in fact. All fastballs from Strickland. He strikes out Owings, works a 1-2-3 7th. We stretch in San Francisco, and the Diamondbacks trail the Giants 4-0.
Todd's Garage circa 1979. Dave Righetti, who rolled through town as a Columbus Clipper. There's a point to this. Look at his stats with the Clippers. 6 games, 5 games, 3 complete games, 2 shutouts, and 8 innings later, he would be a major leaguer. He was, Dave Righetti, a September call-up. Listen to him.
It just leads to, better things and long careers. And but you never know. It could be anybody's last game too. Right. So, that's why guys get treated like they do when they pitch or get a big hit. Or everybody knows how special it is because, God, you never know. It could be the last one.
Just a little perspective on the September call-ups and the incessant pitching changes. Just a take from Dave Righetti, who had been there and done that. And guys, I took this photo yesterday. This looks like a Corleone family wedding. Seriously, there are family members coming out of the woodwork. That's the Diamondbacks dugout. There are guys in stools. It's the longest handshake line in history after wins on the field. But I do love what Dave had to say, because you just never know. There's so many stories of guys that maybe had a cup of coffee in the month of September and never came back. It took Dave a few call-ups in September to finally make his mark with the New York Yankees. And I think for him, his career, as they say, is history. But one of my favorite people in all of sports, and we had a really cool thing with Todd's Garage where I was going to give him give away a DVD of his no-hitter that he pitched on July 4th, 1983 against the Red Sox.
Nope.
Turns out he wanted it, so we gave it to Dave. He said his kids would love it, and that's what we did.
That was not a good day.
I know. Wade Boggs would still argue about that called strike or whatever he swung, I guess, but it was a pretty cool moment on Diamondbacks Live to be able to talk to Dave. He is one of my favorites. He was a tremendous kid back in AAA Columbus when I bumped into him in 1979, and you just kind of knew when you watched him pitch that he had what it took, and he did.
And he's been a great pitching coach for his now in his 16th season with the Giants. We've kind of hinted around a little bit that there are certain coaches that deserve induction into the Hall of Fame if they ever open a coach's wing, and certainly Dave Righetti would have to be near the top of that list.
Well, speaking of September call-ups, here's the catcher, Trevor Brown, who is still looking for his first major league hit, just his second big league game ever. He has started both games this weekend. So far he has walked, stolen a base, and reached on a fielder's choice. Popped it up. First base side for Goldie. That Righetti no-hitter jammed up many a July 4th barbecue in the Northeast. Yeah. Yankees, Red Sox.
Sure it did.
Mine among them. Didn't end well.
The burgers burnt.
Oh, yeah.
Watermelon was spoiled.
Everybody was cranky. Had to be the Yankees. Well, the pitcher spot comes up, and Nick Noonan off the bench to hit for Hunter Strickland. Sergio Romo is throwing in the Giant bullpen. Noonan 1 for 10 this year. Speaking of Yankees, Noonan was a longtime Giant farmhand, a first-round pick by San Francisco back in '07, but signed a minor league deal with the Yankees after last year. They released him in July, and the Giants brought him back a couple of weeks later.
That Wellington Castillo played the carom on that foul ball off the backstop. Came right back to him, made the catch.
He's ambidextrous. Wait. Catches balls in both directions. Noonan can check. He's down 1-2. Beef Wellington on the menu here.
Yeah, you learn very quickly as a catcher or an umpire or even the batter at the plate, the way those backstops are strung so tightly, it's going to come right back at you. And Wellington just caught it behind his back there, handed the ball to Ron Kulpa, said, "Give me a new one. Let's keep playing."
Honest to God, I don't think I've ever seen that. It's amazing.
You know where you see that a lot is at Wrigley. Just the angle of the screens behind home plate. Everything is directed right back to the home plate area. I've seen umpires get hit in the back of the head. I've seen catchers get hit in the back. Batters have to jump out of the way on a foul ball that hits the screen and comes right back at them.
So far, so good for Silvino Bracho. He struck out Tomlinson to end the 6th. Got Brown to open up the 7th. Now 2-2 here on Nick Noonan. It's a full count, 3-2. Pagan on deck. Called strike 3. Bracho rings him up. Second strikeout for Silvino Bracho. 2 down.
Paints that outside corner. Bracho's got that herky-jerky delivery. I think sometimes he kind of distracts the hitter, and then a very fast arm as he delivers that pitch to home plate.
Pagan singled and scored his last time up. 1 for 3. He's got 2 hits in the series. D-backs bullpen is busy. Keith Hessler throwing down there, the left-hander, and Matt Stites, the right-hander. Sergio Romo will get the 8th inning for the Giants. Oh, 0-2.
Tight little breaking ball, started just off the outside corner, catches the outer third of the plate right there to jump ahead 0-2.
Pulls it down the right field line. It's a fair ball. Inciarte plays it in the corner. Angel Pagan has his 18th double.
Tried to go back to that slider down and in that time, maybe get Pagan to swing right over the top of it, but instead he golfs it down into that right field corner for a 2-out double.
Alejandro De Aza, the left-hand hitter, is due up next. Keith Hessler, the lefty, coming in back after this. Anderson Ford. We're at AT&T Park in San Francisco. Steve Berthew, Bob Brenly, and Todd Walsh with you. New pitcher for the Diamondbacks. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th is the left-hander Keith Hessler. Brought in to face Alejandro De Aza, but Bruce Bochy goes to his bench and turns to the right hand, hitting Juan Perez. Angel Pagan at second, 2 outs. Perez 289 in only 21 games for the Giants this year. Got the start in left field yesterday, went 1 for 4 with a single and a strikeout. And Keith Hessler comes in and gets the final out. He strikes out Perez and strands Pagan at second base. Perez may have injured himself there on that big swing. He will limp off. We will take a break. Diamondbacks are down 4-0. To take the at-bat against the lefty Hessler, we assumed he would stay in the game and take over in left field, but he appeared to injure himself on this swing.
Just judging from his reaction, looks like a rib cage or oblique injury. Dropped that left elbow right down on his rib cage as he finished that swing.
So Bruce Bochy has had to do some maneuvering with his outfield now. Marlon Byrd checks into the ball game. He'll take over in right field. Jared Parker moves over from right to left, replacing De Aza. And Sergio Romo is on the mound. Romo will bat in the 2 spot in the Giant order.
No secrets for Romo. Fastball slider combination. He'll throw sliders for strikes. He'll try to lead you out of the zone with the fastball. Doesn't like to throw fastballs for strikes very often.
Well, Nick Ahmed. Here's Parker in left. Ahmed scheduled to lead off the Diamondbacks 8th inning. Bird in right, but Socrates Brito will take the at-bat. The rookie 3 for 9 to begin his big league career. Looks at strike 1 from Romo. Pitcher spot due up next for the Diamondbacks. Jared Saltalamacchia has come out. He's in the on-deck circle. 1-2. Pops it up. Crawford fighting that sun. He's got it. And State Farm report of the game. A look at Brandon Drury's numbers in the minor leagues this year. Saltalamacchia will hit for the pitcher now. Salty 7 for 22 as a pinch hitter this year. Giants have the shift on. They overload the right-hand side. There's strike one. Salty at 219. He's got 9 homers. Matt Stites continues to warm up in the Diamondback bullpen. Duffy, Posey, Parker due up in the San Francisco 8th. That's in the seats, and it's 0-2. Salty's had a huge month of September at the plate. He's hitting over .330 this month. These are his numbers for the year. But in September, 3 doubles, 5 homers, and 10 RBIs.
Well, what really makes it especially impressive is the fact he's usually only getting a couple of starts a week, maybe a pinch hit appearance here or there. Not the kind of regular at bats you usually see a guy take off offensively.
When it's all said and done, people are going to look at Salty's second half. Right now he's hitting .273 since the All-Star break with 7 homers, and that's going to jump out to somebody.
That's solid. Yeah, that's a solid second half of the season, and once again, for a guy that gets irregular at bats, to be able to put up those kind of numbers is very impressive,
especially considering he was designated for assignment by the Marlins at the end of April. Diamondbacks signed him May 7th. He was at Reno for a bit and has had a great second half. Now 61 games this season with the D-backs, and Salty's hit about .250 with 8 home runs. Romo gets a swing and a miss. 2 down.
It's a little backdoor frisbee slider. You can see everything away, 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 and down to Jared Saltalamacchia that at bat.
Well, A.J. Pollock, hard to believe, hitless today. He's 0 for 3. He came into this ball game 5 for 8 in the series, and 4th in the National League in hitting. There's a strike on 1. AJ's got an 8-game hit streak on the line, 13 hits during his 8-game streak.
I'll tell you can't say this about very many opposing pitchers against A.J. Pollock, but Sergio Romo has had his number. A.J.'s 0 for 11 lifetime with 5 strikeouts against Romo.
Ouch. Well, no player in the National League has more hits in the second half of the season than A.J. Pollock.
That 0 for 11 just means he's due.
Reaches out, and you were right on it, maybe. Tomlinson, can he throw him out? AJ beats it out. And now making a 9-game hitting streak for Pollock. You were right, he's due.
Can't keep a good man down. It's not a base hit he'll brag about. He kind of cued that ball right off the end of the bat, but put it in a good spot. Tomlinson had to go a long way to the shortstop side of second base just to get to that ball. And no chance to get AJ.
Here's Ender Inciarte, who so far is 3 for 3. D-backs have just 5 hits. Ender has 3 of them, coming off a 3-hit game yesterday. Josh Osich, the left-hander, has run down to the Giant bullpen. He is warming up quickly down there. You've got Goldie on deck, Peralta behind him. Oh, 2. Called strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Sergio Romo, and he strands Pollock at first base. Here's what's next, brought to you by CenturyLink. Duffy, Posey, and Parker in the Giant 8th. They lead it 4-0. And the new pitcher for Arizona, the right-hander Matt Stites, his 9th appearance of the year.
Well, there are what they like to call soft landings in the game of baseball when you bring a relief pitcher into the game and face the bottom of the order, maybe the pitcher spot. This is not a soft landing for Matt Stites.
Duffy, Posey, Parker, 3, 4, and 5, and the Giant 8th changes defensively. I think Ahmed was pinch hit for, so Chris Owings moves from second base to shortstop, and Brandon Drury takes over at second. Drury bats 8th. Duffy has singled, walked, and scored a run. He's 1 for 2.
A little different setup for Matt Stites.
Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play of the game. Some COD. Chris Owings now at shortstop. This was at second earlier in the game to take a base hit away from Matt Duffy. Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play of the game. Big swing and a miss there, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, talking about Stites' setup as you get a look at Chris Owings, who moves from second to short. Remember, Matt Stites had that thing where he kind of pawed at the dirt like a bull getting ready to charge. Had a lot of things going on before he finally came to a set position, but now he's kind of a quick rock out onto the front foot, right back on the back foot, and ready to go.
Yeah, that front foot scraped the ground sometimes 2-3 times.
Yeah, I noticed it when Silvino Bracho was in the ball game. I actually got my stopwatch out. You know, we're trying to figure out why are we still playing 3+ hour games every night.
What do you got?
We speeded up the batters, making them stay in the batter's box, you know, to fix their gloves and stuff. They weren't allowed to walk all over the field as they were getting ready for the next pitch. But now the relief pitchers have added all the things that they do after they get the sign from the catcher before they're ready to deliver the pitch. You know, Matt Stites used to paw at the dirt. We've seen guys, you know, shake their glove and do this and do that. And the other thing, I had Bracho at 7 seconds from the time he started until he finally came to a set position. 7 seconds was the high. The low was in the low 5s. Shouldn't take that long to get a sign and come into a set position. You get the sign from the catcher. Put the ball in the glove, get ready to pitch. There's a little paw at the dirt right there by Matt Stites.
Well, they put the clock in, and we've got one directly in front of us. By the way, thanks for that. They put a clock up. You have to have one in left center field somewhere and directly behind home plate. Well, they put it basically right in front of our booth. Yeah, here's the one in the outfield. And all that is meant to time everything that happens between the innings. You don't want a pitch clock during the game, heaven forbid, but maybe if it becomes an issue, you might have one, because you've got the batters now trying to speed them along. It's up to the pitchers, perhaps. That's the next step. And Matt Stites comes in, issues a leadoff walk.
And I'm not sure exactly when that started. I mean, Mariano Rivera was probably the first guy I remember that really took a long time from the point he got his sign from the catcher and started his setup until the point he actually came up into a full set position. It seemed like Mariano always took a long time, and more relief pitchers have kind of followed that guide, and now we've got guys out there freelancing all kinds of choreographed routines before they get into a set position. And I think that will be probably one of the next things Major League Baseball wants to address. Get your sign, get set, and throw the ball.
Buster Posey, a 3-run homer his last time up against Randall Delgado that broke the game open. Well, there is some language in the new pace of game rules and initiative from the new Commissioner Rob Manfred's office. It says that the pitcher is expected to begin his motion to deliver the pitch as soon as the batter gets into the box and becomes alert to the pitcher. That's the way it's worded. So once you've done that and complied, it's up to the guy on the mound. This will stay playable for the Diamondbacks. Brandon Drury has got it in fair territory, and that's the first out in the 8th. Everything they did, Bob, to speed up the pitcher, the emphasis was on between innings, getting him out there. I mean, the timer, which is 2:25 or 2:45, depending on if it's a regional or national telecast, starts and gets activated when the guy walks out of the bullpen. And he's got until that time to get himself to the mound and throw as many warm-up pitches as he can in that allotted time, and that's it. But once the game starts, there's really no rule as it applies to the pitcher. At least nothing in writing other than being ready and delivering your motion when the batter becomes alert to the pitcher in the box. Jared Parker, 0 for 3, has struck out 3 times. There goes Duffy, and he's in there. 9th stolen base of the year in 9 attempts for Matt Duffy.
Duffy successful on his steal attempt, but a big tip of the cap to Wellington Castillo to even make that close. That pitch was in the dirt. He picked it cleanly through a rocket one hopper right over the bag, but Duffy just a little too quick, able to get in there underneath the tag.
Oh, Matt Stites walked Duffy. Duffy's at second now after the stolen base, and he's behind on Parker 2-0. Matt Stites, 13 pitches, more balls than strikes. Broken bat, it drops into right center field. Duffy will come around and score, and it's 5-0 Giants. RBI single for Jared Parker.
Sounded like a broken bat by Parker that time. Cued it right off the end of the bat. Just a little slow floater out there into center field with Duffy's speed at second base. He's going to score easily on that. Got a great read. Realized it was going to get down.
Brandon Crawford 0 for 3. I got a question for you about the whole pitcher thing. How do you speed the guy up when the catcher's back there giving signs?
That's not my issue.
Okay.
My issue is after you get the sign and start into your, your stretch delivery.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, somebody from the Padres the other day 3 times extended their glove hand and their bare hand straight out in front of their body 3 times while he was pawing at the dirt with his lead foot before coming into a set position. What useful purpose does any of that serve other than slowing down the game? Get your sign, go into a set position, and throw the baseball. But everybody has a little bit of something they've added to the arsenal out there just to be more stylish than the guy that pitched before them. Bugs the living daylights out.
So the subtlety of all that is wearing thin.
Yeah, I don't get it. What's the purpose?
Kelby Tomlinson.
I mean, everybody that plays this game has their little habits and their little superstitions, and when I do this I do well, and when I don't do this I do badly, and it gets into their own head, and they're starting to think so much about their routines and what am I doing out here and how cool does this look. It just slows things down way too much.
Well, the big reason for the new pace of play initiative from the commissioner's office was obviously the games are getting a little long. 1981, the average major league game was 2 hours and 33 minutes. Last year it was 3 hours and 2 minutes. Now they've improved on that by about 10 or 15 this year. So the rules are working. You just like to see
Well, I mean, not that they penalized the hitters, but they realized that hitters were just ridiculous in their batting glove adjustments and their wristband adjustments and their elbow guard and their ankle guard and walking all the way back to the on-deck circle between pitches to go through their Nomar Garciaparra-like routines. And they said, okay, no more. Figure out a way to abbreviate all that stuff. We're going to try to keep the game moving a little bit more. Fans don't want to watch you adjust your batting gloves. Well, now pitchers are. That's the same guy that made the catch earlier in the game.
That was in the very first inning or so, and he's got another one. Front row, white shirt with a glove.
Wow.
And gets it to a young man sitting next to him.
Dr. Ed has him positioned perfectly.
The shadows here at this
very
time
tough
of day.
to see, but right down there in the bottom right corner, that's the same guy that leaned over earlier in the game and made a great catch. Yeah, so we've got the batters to get back in the box a little quicker. They don't mess around as much with all their equipment, and now we need to do the same for the pitchers.
Stites tries to make the backhand stop, knocks it down. He's starting to swipe that front foot again, but he finally gets out of the inning. Giants add one more. They lead it 5-0. That was the Cox Gig Live high-speed highlights. 9th inning on a sunny Sunday in San Francisco. Not so sunny for the Diamondbacks. They're down 5-0. And he's got a 5-0 lead, but here's Santiago Casillas, 7 for his last 7 in save chances, 34 for 39 on the year, but a nice comfy cushion for a closer here. Up 5-zip. And work to Goldie, Peralta, and Castillo. 3, 4, and 5 in the Diamondback 9th. Goldie 0 for 2 with a walk. 3 for 9 in the series. He's got 4 bases on balls here this weekend. And there's ball 1.
Well, Bruce Bochy wanted to get his closer into at least one of the games in this series. They do have a scheduled off day tomorrow. They travel down to San Diego for 3 games and then basically finish the season with a 10-game homestand. Even though the first 3 of those are across the bay in Oakland, the guys will get to sleep in their own bed, drive their own cars to the ballpark.
They get to fight that Bay Bridge traffic.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Traffic, am I right? 2-0. After the ball game, Diamondbacks will fight our way through the downtown traffic, get to the airport, and fly to L.A. First of 4 tomorrow night against the Dodgers. Elise Chacin and Brett Anderson. Robbie Ray, Alex Wood Tuesday. Chase Anderson, Zach Greinke Wednesday. And a day game Thursday in the series finale. Patrick Corbin versus Clayton Kershaw. Diamondback Live postgame show follows this ball game. Todd Walsh has reaction from the clubhouse.
Yeah.
3-2. In the air, right field. It backs up Marlon Byrd. He's in the corner in the shadow, and he's got it. One down in the ninth. Tomorrow, the Brad Sesmat Football Arizona Show returns with NFL on Fox analyst Charles Davis. He'll have a recap from the Cardinals dismantling the Bears today. That's tomorrow, 6 o'clock, and after the Diamondback Live postgame show right here on Fox Sports Arizona. David Peralta. Two and 0. David singled in the second, walked in the fourth. He's 1 for 2. There's a strike. Three and 2. Somebody finally missed one.
There goes the Gold Glove.
Drives it out to Byrd in right, and he will watch it go. That's a home run. David Peralta, his 16th of the year. There will be no shutout here today. It's 5-1.
Wow, that ball was really struck well. A screaming line drive home run over that 365 mark out there in right field. Marlon Byrd turned and went a couple of steps and then said, nope, I got no chance on that one. Down and in, right in the happy zone.
David, 3 hits yesterday. 2 hits and a walk today, including a home run. Here's Beef Wellington. Well, regardless of this ball game, Bob, it's been a very good start to the long road trip. 10 games in 10 days, all through the division. Diamondbacks will, barring a comeback here, take 2 of 3 in San Francisco. Got a great start today from Jeremy Hellickson, who did a tremendous job of bouncing back from that start last week. So there's a lot to like here after these 3 games.
Yeah, no question about it. The Diamondbacks really played good baseball throughout this series. Just ran up against a buzzsaw today. Tim Hudson on top of his game, unfortunately, and Diamondbacks offense finally woke up.
Castillo looks at strike 3.
Wellington knew it. Hard curveball, tight rotation, just dropped it right in there.
2 down for Jake Lamb. Jake 0 for 2. He walked in the 5th. Things going the Giants' way today. They began the day 8.5 back of the Dodgers with only 14 to play. They lead this one 5-1, 2 outs in the ninth. Dodgers right now trailing Pittsburgh 4-3, ninth inning in Los Angeles. Giants holding on to slim postseason hopes. D-backs will finish this year 8-2 here in this ballpark. And with 11 wins against the Giants this year, so winning the season series as well. 1-2 on Lamb. Giants salvage the finale 5-1, but the Diamondbacks take the series. Hudson the win, he's 8-8. Hellickson a tough luck loss, he's 9-10. They played it in just under 3 hours, 2:56. So they take 2 of 3 in San Francisco. Now the Diamondbacks are off to LA for 4 against the Dodgers.
Take 2 out of 3, win the series in this ballpark. We mentioned the Giants were 15 games over 500 coming into this series. So the Diamondbacks have nothing to hang their heads about. They just ran into a really good veteran pitcher today.
Hudson 6 scoreless innings. He gave up only 4 hits as he gets ready to call it a career. Jeremy Hellickson was outstanding for the Diamondbacks, but it's a 5-1 final. Diamondback Live postgame show with Todd Walsh is next on Fox Sports Arizona. More from San Francisco right after this.